Success and failure used to feel like opposites to you on a doorway. To meaning the other sentence Ashimba, the older you get, the more you see that both are simply moments. Neither final, neither fatal, both temporary visitors in a life that is still unfolding. And Stoicism teaches you this with the gentlest kind of honesty. You are not defined by what happens to you, but by how you meet it. Success can inflate you until you forget yourself, and failure can crush you until you doubt yourself. But the Stoic path is neither pride nor despair. It is steadiness, a way of walking through the world without letting your worth rise and fall with every outcome. You learn that success is not proof you are enough, and failure is not evidence that you are not. Both are merely feedback, signals from life that help shape your path without dictating your identity. And this truth brings a quiet kind of relief, because you start to see how much of your suffering came not from events, but from the stories you told about them, stories of, I am behind, or I am not good enough, or I should be further along by now. Stories that exhausted you far more than the failures themselves. Stoicism asks you to release those stories, not by ignoring reality, but by meeting it with clarity instead of drama, curiosity instead of self-blame, courage instead of shame. You begin to understand that success means little if it costs your peace, and failure means little if it teaches your strength. And when you hold that truth long enough, something inside you softens. You stop rushing, stop measuring your life by milestones, stop believing that your value is tied to achievements other people can see. You stop trying to impress the world and start trying to understand yourself. You realize that success is not a moment, it is a direction, a quiet commitment to growth, a willingness to improve without urgency or self. You realize that failure is not a verdict, it is an instruction, a gentle nudge that asks, what can I learn? What can I let go of? What can I do differently next time? And slowly a new kind of confidence grows in you, not loud, not performative, but rooted, a confidence built not on winning, but on resilience, not on applause, but on alignment, not on outcomes, but on effort. You begin to trust the work you put in, even when no one sees it, and you begin to trust yourself, even when the results aren't immediate. The world will try to measure you by things outside your control type, numbers, timelines, but the Stoics remind you that only your character belongs fully to you. Success touches it, failure tests it, but you are the one who shapes it. And when you live from that place, you stop fearing failure because you know it cannot take anything essential from you. And you stop worshiping success because you know it cannot give anything essential to you. You move through highs and lows with more ease, not because life becomes easier, but because you stop resisting its rhythm. You begin to hold your wins lightly and your losses gently, knowing both will pass, knowing neither defines who you are, knowing that the true measure of a life is not how often you rise or fall, but how honestly you walk through both. And maybe that is the quiet gift Stoicism offers, the understanding that success and failure are simply experiences, chapters, not titles. And when you no longer cling to one or run from the other, you finally become free enough to grow, free enough to learn, free enough to live a life whose deepest success is inner peace.